A day in the life of venture capitalist. One of the questions that I frequently get from entrepreneurs is, what do you guys do with your time? It's a good question. It varies quite a bit from one VC to another. It also depends on what market you're talking about. In developed markets like Silicon Valley, it's very different than in a developing market, let's say India. And it depends on who in the organization you ask. I'll give you two concrete examples. At Unitas Ventures, our affiliate fund here in India, the team would say they collectively spend about 60% or more of their time supporting portfolio companies, 25 to 30% of their time networking in the ecosystem and sourcing new investments, and 5 to 10% of their time actually making investments in companies. Of course, some of the team members do just one thing, such as source new potential deals, or review a deal, or go through the investment process, monitoring or supporting a portfolio. Just to give you a contrast, another perspective from a US VC, Hunter Walker of Homebrew Ventures, he wrote an article in which he talks about the day in the life of a venture capitalist. He says he spends 50% of his time evaluating new opportunities, 35% working with existing investments, 10% in general relationship building, and 5% in what he calls fund operations. Unitas Ventures sees over 2,000 companies a year, and they maybe invest in 1% of them. And that time is spent going through due diligence and the decision-making process, which we'll briefly discuss later. So what does that mean for you? The fact that a VC is investing in 1% of entrepreneurs means that the chances of you going out and raising a VC round and having your first VC say, wow, that's really cool, I'll put money in your company right now, that's very, very low. I know Silicon Valley tech startups with interesting, exciting business opportunities who'll talk to up to maybe 200 VCs before getting funding it's looking for. It's different there. There are a lot of VCs to go to compared to, let's say, an emerging market like India. But you need to plan to see and talk to more than a few investors if you're serious about getting your funding done. Of more importance, you need to know how to speak to your investor in a way that they can understand and is compelling to them. Telling your compelling story again and again is not nearly as effective as telling their story, your company's story, from their frame of mind. This involves a combination of speaking from an investor's point of view, as well as researching the specific VC you're talking to and speaking their language. We'll spend more time on that in the Pitch Perfect module. So how can you be part of the 1% that gets funded? Let's find out.